Well, there was nothing prime about their distribution.
Hello, my baby! Hello, my honey! Hello, my ragtime gal! Sonny, you kissed my wife! Baby, my heart's on fire!
We finally get to review the Wave 2 Prime Master figures for Power of the Primes. Somehow most of Wave 2 got the short end of Hasbro's ugly stick when it came to releasing them on time. They have only just lately turned up on HasbroToyShop.com, with some parts of the world not seeing any at retail stores. If you have seen my reviews for the Wave 1 Prime Masters and the Wave 3 Prime Masters, and shame on you if you haven't, then you will see even without opening the boxes that these figures follow the same pattern. In this case we have Alchemist Prime with Submarauder armor and Alpha Trion with Landmine armor. Both figures are displayed plainly on the front, while on the back you see the usual diagrams and studio shots, along with the small windows that profile the Prime Master's symbols. Alpha Trion's power boasts infinite knowledge. Well, perhaps then you can tell us why Hasbro dropped the ball with your distribution. While Alchemist Prime is billed as a mystical scientist. Now there's a contradiction in terms. That's like saying he's a carnivorous vegetarian or a military pacifist. It don't work. Anywho, let us unbox these elusive Wave 2 figures and review them properly. Out of box, the Wave 2 Prime Masters come with their instruction booklets, their custom weapon accessories, and their little Prime Master mini-robots. And these are the Pretender shells out of their boxes. Landmine, it turns out, is not a repaint of Cloudburst. The leg parts on the front of the Pretender plate are the same, but the chest portions are different. He is yellow and red with some off-white parts tossed in. There's an impressive level of sculpted detail, and the paint applications are neat and clean. The Alpha Trion Prime Master is also decently painted, and has the usual articulation with swiveling arms, waggling and rotating head, flip-up hips, and bendable knees. To transform Alpha Trion into his Prime Master mode, turn him upside down, and fold the legs so that they are lying flush against his chest. His Prime Master symbol is pretty cool with diamonds on it. You may flip open the Pretender shell to reveal a hollow cavity into which the Prime Master figure may be inserted and hidden. The included weapon accessory for the Landmine armor may be inserted into any one of the hands. You may also clip the weapon accessory onto the back of the Pretender shell for storage purposes, or also to convert him into his Target Master mode by flipping the gun forwards and rotating this handle so that it points down, turning him into a gun. Alas, he suffers from the same problem as Cloudburst, with the gun barrel tilting upward slightly because it won't push down all the way. The Prime Master can be inserted into these two pegs on the back to beef up the weapon with the power of the Primes. For articulation, the Pretender shell has rotating arms. The front will split open, the gun barrel will rotate forwards and backwards, and the Target Master peg will also rotate forwards and backwards. And they did that little thing where they gave him a tiny open visor so that you can still see the Prime Master's head through this little tiny slit. But for the small size, it's not too shabby. Submarauder and Alchemist Prime is an all-original mold, done up to look like an aquatic beast. And Hasbro threw themselves into it with his colors, in varying shades of ocean blue along with some gray. The sculpting makes him look all scaly and crustacean-y. So that is all well done. Even his weapon accessory are the prongs of a trident, because as everyone knows, tridents are the only weapons that ocean-faring warriors ever use. Open up the Pretender shell as usual to put in the Prime Master figure, and turn it into a Pretender. Clip the weapon accessory into place on his back, and you may keep it there for storage purposes, or rotate it forwards to become the Target Master. The Alchemist Prime Master has swiveling arms, rotating and waggling head, tilt-up hips, and bendable knees. Transform him to the Prime Master mode by turning him upside down and folding the legs up against the chest. Even his Prime Master symbol looks like some sort of weird sea creature thingy with a whole lot of eyes. Blinky blinky. The Prime Master will plug into the Target Master with these holes and these pegs. Push those together and he will hold firmly in place. So as with Landmine and all the other Pretenders, there's a lot of playability with these little figures. For size comparison, here are the Wave 2 Prime Masters next to Legends Power Glide. Here are the Wave 2 Prime Master figures next to Transformers Animated Deluxe Lockdown. And here are the Power of the Primes Wave 2 Prime Masters next to a jar of creamy Jif peanut butter. Because choosy deaths choose Jif. Figure isn't always better. And sometimes good things do come in small packages, especially for the collector on a budget. The Prime Master figures are excellent items. They are not too expensive, they don't take up a lot of shelf space, and you get a lot of playability for the price. You can keep them as separate figures with their own holdable weapons, or turn them into a weapon for larger figures to use. Positives are good sculpting and paint and versatility. Negatives are that they all function pretty much the same, but that's just nitpicking. And I give the Wave 2 Prime Masters 8 out of 10 deaths. But now that the Wave 2 Prime Master figures have actually arrived, what in the world will I have left to complain about?
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me, then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, tell them all, and tell me I'm your own.